what's the fate of the candidate that's in an career free? If she loses this election, knowing very well that the party stance was not to be part of this election, and she defied all orders and went ahead into the game?
Well, I think that the call by the party was out of bad faith in the first place. Secondly, the woman contestant, I think it is good for her. And this has been a constituency that the MPP has won over the period, over the years. So you did not expect her to chicken out. And so it was a bad call on the part of the General Secretary. I think that the consultation was not properly done. And so that's the more reason why top members of the party, and listening to some MPs, they decided, no, they will have to take part. It is not about losing the elections. It's about making your presence felt. If it goes other way, it doesn't matter. You will still have fought anyway. To let go of that particular, rerun, I think that it was not good for the image of the party, because that would have meant that the party in government would have gone out with a bragging right. And so she contesting and losing or winning is neither here nor there. The contest was important. They needed to test their popularity as of now from 2024 to 2025. And that in itself will be a basis for the party to plan in the near future, right? If they lose, they will use that, they'll use those indicators as a source of planning for the future. But if you don't take part in the next elections, what data are you going to use to plan? That is something that, wouldn't have augured well for the party. So it doesn't matter they're losing, right? The lady haven't contested is all well and good. But the idea that the party general secretary suggested that they were not going to take part, obviously, took the steam out of the woman. And so she didn't know whether she was going to, run for the elections or not. So I think that this decision to even contest was a last minute, an 11th hour decision, which in itself did not augur well for her campaign. These are some of the inefficiencies displayed by the national officers, including the general secretary, that have not really, inured to the benefit of the party. And some of us believe that they don't deserve to be there.
I see. Quick one last one before I let you go. I'm having an in-studio discussion with David Komiado, and in fact, he drew our attention to the next by-election, which is yet to come. That is in Akwatia constituency. Judging from this particular election, the security point of view, what should the security take notice ahead of that by-election as well? Because today's election, many are blaming the security force.
Well, if you listen to what Dr. Baumio said, then it means that both parties will have to be very careful. Their support base will have to be very careful. Other than that, it will degenerate into something untoward. You see, this particular by-election that will have come about because of the death of an MP, I don't think that the NDC will be too much interested. But Akwatia is a place, that the NDC has won before, right? Yes, Akwatia is a place that NDC has won before. I think Baba Jamal won it some time ago, and he lost it when he went again. And so I wouldn't say it has been a topsy-turvy constituency. By and large, the MPP has won more than what the NDC, has equally won. And so I will say that it will be very strange. It will come to me as quite strange if the NDC is able to win that, seat. That would have meant that the NDC, Akwatia is in the eastern region.
Yeah, sure.
The NDC will be making huge inroads in the near future in the eastern region. You know that the two regions that have always stood behind the MPP, the Ashanti and Eastern regions, they vote for them en masse. But should it happen that the NDC will amass that particular seat, that will mean that should there be any by-election in any of these two regions, and looking at the way the government is running the affairs of this country, then it means that the NPP will be in deep, deep trouble. I wouldn't want to think that the NDC will be able to win for now. I've not seen anything that will point to the fact that they will be able to win Akwatia. And you know that when somebody dies, most often than not, they get sympathy vote. So sympathy vote could also, help along the line in terms of the NPP. But maybe it is early days yet. Let's see what happens later.
I see. Doc, thank you so much for your time and for joining me, for joining us all the way from the United Kingdom. That's Dr. Jonathan Asantotri. Let me give you David Kumiado is still with us. So, Dave, Dr. Jonathan Asantotri has been talking about the impact of the central government influencing the results. Yesterday, in fact, you mentioned that when we had a discussion. Is that really what has come to play here?
You see, the wind of change started in 2024. And from December 2024 till today is basically 7 months. 7 months. What caused the people to make that decision that they will want to change government, they want to change who leads them in the constituency, I'm sure hasn't died down, has not changed. In fact, if anything should change, it is what has occurred right from January to today is that their resolve will be strengthened because of things that have happened. The economic differences, the variations, the changes that we have seen in the economy, the confidence in terms of security, in terms of freedom of speech, in terms of not fearing that something was going to happen to you if you had gone ahead to say something.
Okay.
People, I've spoken to people and they've said that, Charlie, now it's like we can breathe. So it's like people were being strangulated. People were being choked by some decisions and some actions by the then government.
Yeah.
Obviously, everybody is enjoying this ambience. So for me, like you said, every human being is a rational being. Therefore, we will sit down and make an analysis before we take a decision. I'm not going to take a decision because, I voted for MPP yesterday, or I used to vote for MPP. If something good is coming, and I shouldn't embrace it. When you speak to people, they will tell you that they benefited nothing from even the last 8 years of the MPP rule. So all these things, and people speak to themselves. They have conversations, especially when events like this are coming. You get that? That is when they recall the negative things that have happened to them and they want a change. I'm saying this based on the fact that I told you initially, I've had conversations and some interviews that were done by indigents in that particular constituency. And I think that I tend to support what he had said, that obviously it is high. It is high that was going to go to the NDC than going to the NPP.
Well, I see. So news in sporadic shooting ongoing around Radiant Way polling center. Very interesting. So I'm sure that it has to do with the sorting and counting. We'll try as much as possible to get our reporter to give us that update. So shooting ongoing around Radiant Way polling center. There. So that's a very, very unfortunate one. I'm sure that the police would have to intensify security measures there. So that's the situation there. So we've done some few polling centers. Though Irabana being in a comfortable lead, is it a clear indication that overall Irabana being can emerge as the winner in this election?
You see, I said that there's a high possibility she can win. Obviously, when you look at the figures that are coming, but we are not even half. I think these are just 6 polling centers that come in. And if you look at all these figures we are seeing, yes, it is true. Irabana of the NDC is in the lead. So
14 police stations so far. MPP 869 and then NDC 1,172. So we are left with just 5 more to go.
1,172
And then for the MPP, 869. So this is for just 14 polling stations collected so far. These are the figures. MPP 869, and then NDC 1,172 out of, that's 14 polling stations so far.
Can we do something? Let's add the 48 to that of the MPP.
Okay. So we are adding 869. 869 plus 48, so that's going to be 917.
Okay, so plus 48. Yes, 917.
So it's still way below that of the NDC.
Obviously, yes. Obviously, yes. So if we can know whether the NPP can overturn this particular figure, then we must know the total number of voters in the rest of the I think 5.
Yeah, so we're left with 5. Yeah,
polling
yeah,
centers.
sure. And interestingly,